If you thought I forgot about Good Morning Pop Culture, you were wrong. This damn computer decided to update right before I went live. So that's why we're a couple minutes late. But you know what? As The Rock would say, it doesn't matter. You know why? Because I'm here and it's time to start Good Morning Pop Culture. It is September the 20th, 2018. It's 7:58 a.m. and it's time to rock. So, folks, last night we had our patron appreciation night. It was a good time. A lot of good people showed up. It was a lot of fun. It was a celebration of all of us, a community. Just to check that out, make sure you do. Get over to that video right after you watch this one, after Good Morning Pop Culture, and make sure to get involved with the Patreon community. A lot of good people over there, a lot of fun to be had. So do yourself that favor and check it out. So today we have confirmation finally about a film that has been on my mind as of late. Next James Bond movie. So let's see who's here this morning. Good morning to everybody. Good morning to everybody. Oh, we got 70 viewers, so as soon as we hit our goal number of 200, we will start as always. It's like this great Chrome browser now wants to update too. Gotta love technology, folks. Without it, there wouldn't be this show. But without it, there wouldn't be these headaches. So we got Darth Durgle the Wisest, Cesare Japan, Darth Primus, all kinds of people. Tina's here, Trent's here, Scott, Yogima, Kenneth LaRock, Yakov Merkin. Man, I wish this computer would work better right now, so we wouldn't look like, well, I wouldn't look like a dick. So while this seems to be working, let me just look it up on my phone for you guys. Okay, so I'm just going to keep talking like you can hear me, because it says I'm live and it says you can hear me. So let's hope that's true. So if there's not 200 people here, well, you're lucky. We're going to start the show at a lower number today. The 25th James Bond film will be directed by Cary Joji Fukunaga. I've never heard of Fukunaga, but apparently he's a well-known director. So Cary Joji Fukunaga has been given the license to thrill. Director of the highly acclaimed first series of HBO's True Detective was revealed as the director of the next James Bond movie on Thursday. The 40-year-old one is the first American to direct a James Bond movie and replaces the British director Danny Boyle, who quit last month while citing creative differences. The official James Bond Twitter account and website confirmed Fukunaga's role with the production, which will begin on March 4th of 2019. Michael G. Wilson, Barbara Broccoli, and Daniel Craig announced today that Bond 25 will begin filming at Pinewood Studios on March 4th, under the helm of director Cary Joji Fukunaga, with a worldwide release date of February 14th, 2020, the statement read. So, guys, take your ladies to James Bond on Valentine's Day 2020. What's more romantic than James Bond? There's thrills, there's chills, there's sex. That's what Valentine's Day should be all about. Fukunaga most recently directed Maniac, a dark comedy starring Emma Stone and Jonah Hill. He also directed the 2015 Beasts of No Nation starring Idris Elba. So there we go. No Idris Elba in this film because this director's already worked with him. And the film will be Craig's fifth and final appearance as Bond after starring in Casino Royale, and you guys know the rest. So we are at 186 viewers right now. Normally we have to wait, but all the technical problems suck ass. Kenneth LaRock, thank you very much for a super chat. I hate when that happens. Always updates at the worst possible times. You are not wrong. I had to turn this computer off of automatic updates because it would do it like minutes before we would record Patreon stuff. And I'm just like sitting here for 30 minutes, and the other guys are like, we're waiting. I'm like, hey, I can't help it. Windows 10 decided to update itself. So that is a pitfall of modern technology. So I'm glad that everyone is patient this morning. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about some stuff. Yes, everybody knows that Windows updates are hell. And that is why Good Morning Pop Culture was just a few moments late. But we're here, and that's what matters. So that's the information about the next James Bond film. We have Cary Joji Fukunaga. I've never heard of him, but I've heard nothing but good things about True Detective Season 1 or Series 1. And that's exciting to me because we're going to get that eye on James Bond. It's also interesting to me that this is the first American to direct a 007 flick. You know who a very famous American was that was denied James Bond twice? Oh, Steven Spielberg. Yeah, Steven Spielberg was denied James Bond twice. And George Lucas gave him Indiana Jones instead. And Indiana Jones, well, for the 1980s, Indiana Jones beat James Bond every time. Temple of Doom was what? Okay, so the original Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, was the same year as For Your Eyes Only. Raiders of the Lost Ark wins. Temple of Doom was wedged between Octopussy and The View to a Kill. Raiders of the Lost Ark wins. Or Temple of Doom wins. And then finally, The Last Crusade was wedged between, just the same year as License to Kill. And well, Indiana Jones beats License to Kill. The only time that a James Bond movie came out the same year as an Indiana Jones flick and was better than Indiana Jones was 2008's Kingdom of the Crystal Skull versus Quantum of Solace. But in that situation, no one's really a winner. It's just an endurance test to see what you can get through fastest. Nobody missed anything. Well, we did talk about the James Bond director, Cary Joji Fukunaga. And that news is all over. I got it from Variety this morning. It's on CNN. It's on the official James Bond Twitter. So this is 100% confirmed. This is not speculation. This is not garbage to your news from websites like a Screen Rant or something like that. This is 100% guaranteed news. Yeah, Temple of Doom is a great movie. I think Temple of Doom is the most underappreciated Indiana Jones flick. And I won't say underrated because there was a time where people thought highly of it. It was referenced in pop culture. It was fun to a lot of people. And then I think the oversensitivity of the internet as well as popular culture and society in general, everybody got, real soft. They got, oh man, this is offensive towards Indians or this or that. It portrays them as savages who eat chilled monkey brains and stuff like that. Look, it's gross, but it's also funny. I don't have any problem with Indian people, believe me. I don't. But Temple of Doom, I love that movie. I think the first 3 Indiana Jones flicks are all 10 out of 10. Perfect. Wouldn't change a damn thing about it. Yeah, Kotaku's a garbage tier website as well. Screen Rant is better than CNN. But when it comes to entertainment news, I'm not saying CNN's great or a reliable source. I'm just saying this is officially confirmed throughout the internet. Folks, we have 262 viewers this early. We should have 262 likes. So smash the muff button, pound the muff button, smash the melee button. I don't know what Jeremy says. I'm coming at you with another episode. So let's just copy that and press that like button. Michael Rodriguez, thank you very much for a super chat. Morning, Jeff. Just watch Mahler's Predator video. Why doesn't Hollywood care to write good stories anymore? Well, Michael Rodriguez, let me tell you why I think that's the case. Hollywood doesn't like to hire good writers anymore. Nowadays, Hollywood isn't really focused on telling a really good story. They're focused on telling the quickest, cheapest story that uses brand recognition to get your money. They're pulling at your heartstrings, like with Predator. I have no intention of seeing the movie. I'll listen to Mahler's video today after this show. Mahler is a friend of the channel, a friend of mine on the internet. Good dude, cool voice. I take his opinion highly. I hold it in high regard. I think the case with Hollywood not wanting to do it, like I said, is to save money. They hire these people that are hired on, or they get work based on their ideologies, based on who they know, not what they know, not what they've produced. Haggis and Paul Haggis and what's their name? The guys that write the James Bond flicks have been involved since 2001. Neil Wade and something Purvis, something. Those guys have been around for a long time doing these Bond movies. I think it's time for them to step away, but they're always there. They know everybody. They just keep coming back and getting more work. And I don't think that's a good thing. Sometimes you got to step away. Like Lawrence Kasdan and John Kasdan and all those people involved with Star Wars now. You may have been associated with the good stuff back in the day, but you've definitely lost your touch. If Hollywood wanted something new and original, a new IP to create or to focus on, you want to get somebody. They don't even have to be young writers. You just have to get somebody new to the game, somebody that knows what they're doing, and adapt that, or someone that has a passion and a love for film. A guy like me could come up with something unique and fun. We call it Stealing Solo, a Captain's parody available on Indiegogo for now 1 month. We're in the final stretch, and we are really close to the stretch goal. We can hit that today. So everyone out there that's been waiting, let's get on it so everybody gets that stretch goal. But a lack of originality will be the downfall of Hollywood. They can pump out the ideological garbage that people are going to skip, and then they can also pump out Transformers 12, Fast and Furious 29. They'll adapt the dumbest shit like a Rayman movie, and then people just won't go. You got to have a nice balance. I'm not tired of seeing adapted works yet, but I am tired of seeing adapted works molded into the weird, perverse fantasies of a small few people. They'll give us something that everyone's going to like and everyone's going to have fun with. Friend Dio Brando, thank you very much, Dio Brando. Did you hear Jon Snow is playing Batman? Is that legit? Is that legit? Let me check that. It's not that I don't believe you, Dio Brando. Believe me, I just want to check that out to see what the article says, so I have something to talk about with you guys. Batman, Kit Harington. That's his name, right? Oh, he's in the running. Okay. No, apparently, according to Heroic Hollywood, he is not the next Batman. Let's see. So this came from Heroic Hollywood 17 hours ago. Let me give you guys something to look at. Thankfully, this browser is now, not chugging down that ass cock constantly. I have to say, I may not be a fan of the man, but Kit Harington has a cool-ass name. It sounds fake. It probably is fake. Is his real name? I don't even care. Is Kit Harington his real name? We'll find out in a couple moments. People can tell me in the chat, no, it's not his real name. Yes, it is his real name. What was it? Like Ethan Chase was the guy's name from Due Date. And Robert Downey Jr. was like, that's a great name. And he's like, I want to be called something else. And he's like, what? You have the best actor name ever. So this came from Heroic Hollywood. Here's something to sink your teeth into, or your eyes in this case. So it says, no, Kit Harington is not the next Batman. A new rumor that Game of Thrones star Kit Harington would be playing the titular role in Matt Reeves' upcoming Batman solo movie, The Batman, has now been debunked ever since Ben Affleck stepped down last year as director of The Batman. Rumors have been flying about to whether or not he will even play the Caped Crusader on the big screen again. The rumor kicked into high gear once Affleck entered rehab this year. Some fans think that Affleck's road to recovery could keep him from playing Batman again, though nothing has been officially said by the actor or the studio. The latest casting rumors suggest that Game of Thrones star Kit Harington would be the actor of choice to play the Caped Crusader in Matt Reeves' film. According to Entertainment Weekly, James Hibbard, this latest rumor is just another false alarm. And then he has a tweet that says, the first time Kit Harington heard about this Batman rumor is when I called his rep yesterday to ask. So no, unfortunately. Okay, so the next line of DC flicks are Shazam, Joker, and Wonder Woman 1984, which come out next year in 2019. And then there's a couple other exciting animated films such as Batman Hush and Reign of the Supermen. DC will also feature a new service, DC Universe streaming service, from Swamp Thing to Stargirl. Okay, well, I have that for the channel, and it got better since the first day I showed it to you guys. But no, Dio Brando, it doesn't look like Kit Harington be Batman or James Bond. He'll be Jon Snow for a while. Yes, I played Grand Theft Auto Vice City. It was the first GTA game I actually beat. I had it. Funny story, I had it when it came out on the PS2, and my mom was like, okay, I'm going to buy it for you now, and you're going to get it at Christmas. And I said, okay. And then one day I said to her, Mom, can I ask a favor? Can we take back Grand Theft Auto because I really want WWF SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth. And so she took it back, and I got SmackDown. And because it was wrestling, she let me open it early and play it. And then when the Grand Theft Auto 2-pack for the original Xbox that day. So yes, I played Vice City. I own Vice City on PS2, PS3, PS4, mobile, and Xbox. So 5 consoles. Yeah. So I've played it. Our friend, the Grand Inquisitor, thank you very much for super chat, sent you an email with a Sargon vid about the MSM going after YouTubers. Razor did one too. That is worth your time. Gotta love the fist. Yeah. Razor Fist is better than Iron Fist every day of the week. I didn't even know if that was up for debate, but I just wanted to put it out there because it needs to be said. I will check those videos out. Yesterday, I've been kicking it into high gear with Stealing Scylla since we're in the final stretch. I was having I had a little conference with one of the colorists and stuff like that, so I'm trying to get everything worked out to show you guys what you're going to get, but I also want to make sure that I have the process streamlined behind the scenes for me to pump out pages, because the layout, the script writing is the easiest part, which is done. The layouts take a couple minutes to think about the panels, but once I have that layout in my mind that I like, well then, damn it, it's off to the races, and I can get shit done in a good time. So I actually was planning on the idea, would Stealing Solo come out in February? I could get it done by Christmas. I honestly thought about that. I looked at the timetable and all that stuff, but I didn't want this channel to suffer. I mean, we're doing great. We're past 74,000 subscribers. We got Schlocktoberfest coming up, which our website, all kinds of stuff is coming from the channel. So if you're in the minority of people or the portion of the people who supported this book, thank you, and you're going to get a great comic book. And if you're one of the people that watches the channel and likes the stuff we do and will buy the t-shirt and the mug for Good Morning Pop Culture, well, thank you for your patience, and you're going to get that as well, too. So I want to make sure everybody gets what they want, so no one's a loser. They say not everyone can be a winner. Well, you can this time. You want a Batman movie, bring back Bale to do Miller's Dark Knight Rises. Or Dark Knight Returns is what I think you meant to say. I read that book yesterday on the DC streaming service. And I found myself inspired by some of the panel layouts when I was working on Stealing Solo. Not necessarily the art style of Frank Miller. I don't draw like that, thankfully. But I was inspired by the panel layout. Have you guys heard about the newest issue of Batman? They have, yeah, Superfan Adam Shawhan. You'll get it. Don't worry. You'll get 5 copies of it because you bought 5. I almost called you a Superfan Adam Shawman just to mess with you, like Ethan Van Sciver called you by, by mistake. Okay, so have you guys... I'm not going to be able to show you guys this. Well, let's see if I can. Let me check the article for the images, because I don't want to get booted off the internet for something stupid. Okay, I can show you this. We're talking about Batman. Now, Ethan covered this, but I'm going to cover it too. I like Batman just as much as he does. I haven't worked on him. Maybe one day. I don't know. Maybe I really don't want to. I like doing this. It's a lot of fun. This is, full-time thing. So let's check this out. Batman. When you think of Batman, what do you think of? You think of the Joker. You think of Catwoman. You think of Robin. You think of Adam West. You think of all kinds of stuff. But when you think about Batman comics, do you think about seeing Batman's dick? Because, all the gadgets that Batman has, the Batarang, the Batmobile, the shark repellent bat spray, the hearing device, the sonar, all that stuff. That's Batman. But you don't want to see the Bat Wiener. So, folks, now the new Batman comic features the first ever full frontal bat nudity. Ugh. It's like you don't, thank God Batman's not a real person, because you don't want to see one of your favorite comic books or one of your heroes' wiener. That would just change the whole dynamic, and it would get really, really weird. So, All Out of Bubblegum, thank you very much for your super chat. Did you hear about what Comicsgate community did last night? Donating funds to keep a comic book curator in his home. I'm really happy with everyone that's in the Comicsgate community today. All Out of Bubblegum, I did not hear about that. So, that is a very noble thing to do. So, shout out to Ethan and all the guys who made that happen. The people that want to deride Comicsgate are 2 different types of people. They don't know what Comicsgate is, kind of like a Frank Cho, or they're very mean-spirited people who want to attack a group and condemn us as a hate group. But world-class bullshitters and all the communities associated with this channel, we're not a hate group. Last night we had one big awesome session where everyone's like, hey man, I'm so glad to be a part of this community. People from different walks of life, different colors, different creeds, different beliefs. No one was ostracized. Everyone felt welcome. I didn't even really have to say too much during that stream last night because everyone was talking to each other. It just goes to show you what we've built. And it's even greater that Comicsgate, which I am a part of, would go a step further and help keep someone in their home and be able to do live. It's not cheap to live, believe me. I know what's up with some of this stuff. So that is pretty damn awesome of Ethan and everybody else. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm in the Comicsgate stuff. I know a lot of behind the scenes pieces of information that a lot of people don't know. All good stuff, obviously, nothing bad. But I'm really proud of those guys. Everybody, Ethan, Nasser to a lesser extent. I was joking. He's a cool guy. No, but that's awesome. Thank you, All Out of Bubblegum. And by the way, All Out of Bubblegum, I hope you're getting ready for a They Live commentary that's coming soon. Dio Brando. Dio Brando has the best super chat of the morning. Try to top this, guys. In the next issue, we see the Bat Cave, a.k.a. his anus. Oh, my God, man. Maybe that's the picture they meant to send Ethan over Twitter. The Bat Cave. Oh, that is so gross. Let's get Wonder Woman full frontal nudity. All right. Hey, we're about equality on world-class bullshit. If we see Bat Dong, we got to see Wonder Woman. Not Nip. Nip's not good enough. We got to see below the below the belt, the waistline. Equal nudity for all. Equal nudity for all. Oh. Man, I had something I wanted to cover just a second ago, and it popped right out of my mind. Hopefully I get back to it. Thanks to our newest Stealing Solo backer. I won't announce your name for anonymity's sake, but I got the notification, and thank you very much, Wonder Bush. Yeah, Turbo Donk. It is Wonder Woman 1984. I kind of expect that to come with the territory. I want accurate representations of time. I don't want this, bullshit modern-day take. No, it's 1984. It's going to be there. Oh man, I'm just listening to did DC send me a different version? Maybe DJD show. Maybe you didn't get to see the Bat Dong. Did you want to? I don't know. Does anyone ever wake up in the morning and say, man, I want to get up, have a cup of coffee, get to work, and look at Batman's wiener? Really? Let's see. Nobody talks about Kick-Ass, and that was a great film. Well, I think the reason nobody talks about Kick-Ass anymore is because it's old. No, I'm just joking. The first one is great. The second one left a bad taste in my mouth. Dave Lazuski is his name, right? Aaron Taylor Johnson, a.k.a. the Lesser Quicksilver. It was good. I thought that girl in that movie was so pretty. The girlfriend, she was also in, Hot Tub Time Machine. Whatever her name is, man. She is gorgeous. American Trent 007, thank you very much for the super chat. Eventually, we see Ace Chemicals, Lena's crotch. Ew. Wow, fuck me, man. Thanks for coming on last night and all you do for the channel, but that's gross. Damn it. It's gross. Yeah, it must be porn. Ugh. Kick-Ass is also Quicksilver. Yes, he is. The lesser. What's funny is when I first saw the Days of Future Past image, I thought to myself, Quicksilver looks stupid in this movie. It's going to be so much better in Avengers. And I was wrong. I was way wrong. Days of Future Past Quicksilver beat the hell out of, Avengers. So there we go. There's a picture of the artwork. I believe this is what Liber Mijo artwork. And he's a really great artist. But it says DC is launching a new imprint designed explicitly for an adult audience called DC Black Label. It debuts today with Batman Damned, the new series from Brian Azzarello and artist Liber Mijo that will follow Batman and John Constantine investigating the mystery of the Joker's murder. But that's not what everyone's talking about. What everyone's talking about the fact that the book has the interest of making clear just who the book is for and features full frontal bat nudity. I hate to say this, but that's the reason why I'm not going to buy the book. I was putting that out there. I know some people are like, oh, you're not going to review it for the channel? Sorry, Bat Dong is not welcome here. Dong Lover. Oh, shit. Somebody bought one of their shirts last night. I got to make sure I mail that off today. No, but Dong Lover, Bat Dong, all that stuff. Hey, if that's what you're into, have fun with it. Me personally, I don't need to know if Batman's cut or not. My thoughts on the rumored Loki and Scarlet Witch series. Well, I don't like that because that just basically announces, and you're talking about the TV show because I saw this, that announces that Loki's not dead. We know that Scarlet Witch was going to come back and stuff, but I kind of liked the idea that Loki had died from Thanos, on the thing. He choked him to death. I don't want Loki to come back. Death needs to mean something in these movies. They won't cover the death of Uncle Ben. Certain characters, the villains can die, but some of the heroes can't. And I know Loki was a villain in the Avengers, but he redeemed himself and became a hero. To me, I thought Loki and Thor's, get help was fucking hilarious. By that point, I thought Loki was a little more in the gray. See, my favorite GTA game is San Andreas and 5 are tied. Love them both. Like 3. So I'm going to go San Andreas /5, Vice City 3, a bunch of other ones, then 4. I hate 4. Dio Brando with a very gross super chat. Thank you very much. Do you think Alfred puts on his condoms? I think Batman has like a spray, or maybe he has just like James Bond has like an invisible one that's always there. It just like regenerates over time. That's what I like to think Batman has. He's a man about town. Uncle Ben needs his own Netflix show. I wouldn't be opposed to it as long as it focuses on him being shot at the end of every episode. Uncle Ben, no! And then, no! And that's how it ends each week. And so Peter became Spider-Man. Like Flex Seal. Yes, just like Flex Seal. GTA 5 stole from The Sopranos. GTA borrows from everything. It borrows from Heat, The Sopranos, Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, James Bond, all that shit. Miami Vice. Grand Theft Auto is just a fictionalized version of popular crime pop culture at the time. And it does a great job of it, and it makes it its own thing. The Loki show is going to take place before Infinity War. Oh, well, I'm not too interested in that. I hate to say it. I'm not too interested in that at all. I love when you get phone calls during your live show from people that know this is what I do, but they want to call me at 8:24 in the morning. Have I noticed the her part when they say what makes a hero in the Captain Marvel trailer? Yes, I did. I talked about that on the live reaction, as well as the little chunk of the live reaction I put up yesterday. So make sure you guys check that out. Cesario Japan, thank you very much for your super chat. Think of the potential adult toys DC Comics could market. Bat dildo, bat vibrator, bat lingerie, bat aphrodisiac, bat own-a-hole. Ew. See, I like the idea of an adult-themed line, but Batman's dick? No. That's just that's not for me. Now, like Marvel has the Max series with violence and gore and stuff like that, and I would like to see Batman deal with darker stuff. Slavery rings, smuggling, stuff like that. Like, let Batman deal with some dark, seedy shit. I don't really need the adult themes to come from, that. Let Batman accidentally kill somebody or just be extra violent or have Batman come across a really disturbing massacre. That's the kind of stuff I'll buy into. I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold off until we get the next line of DC Black Series. Or why is it the Black label of Black Series? All this shit for adults that adults aren't always going to buy. Like the Star Wars Black Series started out weak as hell. Now the Star Wars Black Series is some of the strongest figures they've ever put out. Same thing with this. Maybe it'll start out weak and it'll get better. I don't know. Bat Dong to the rescue. Maybe I'm wrong. Reed Palantia, welcome back, my friend. Tom Hiddleston does a good Loki. Quite popular. He's the foil to Thor. Glad to catch up again with the channel. Well, glad to have you back, Reed Palantia. We missed you, man. We missed you. Loki, I know Tom Hiddleston is a good Loki, a great Loki. And the thing I like about Tom Hiddleston the most is that he embraces the role. And like he'll go to Comic-Con and wear the suit with the wig and all that stuff. He's not embarrassed to be Loki. He's very proud of it. It's his big role. I wish more people were like that in general. Like, oh, I've been gifted the opportunity to play an iconic character that'll be remembered forever. One of the most watched films in history is The Avengers. Well, at least in ticket sales. It's what, number 3 or 4? And I'm the villain in that. I'm one of the leads, the lead villain. Maybe I didn't get Robert Downey Jr. money. but I got a lot of screen time. And so he embraces it, and he's a lot of fun. He's the type of actor, if I saw in public, you know, as long as he's not eating or in the bathroom, I'd be like, oh man, it's Loki and shit like that. I think he would laugh. Seems like a cool dude. So I'm all for Tom Hiddleston getting more work. Not James Bond, but I do really like the guy. If I was famous, I'd want to be friends with Tom Hiddleston. The hunky chunky funky monkey. Thank you very much. This was a response to Robin saying, fuck Batman. The Batman brand is in a bad place right now. We have the Titans. Well, Titans is a DC property, I know that. But it shoots off from Batman, thanks to Robin and many other characters. Man, the Titans trailer looked so bad. And now the Titans series looks so bad. Maybe we'll like hate watch it for the channel. Do you guys want me to hate watch it for the channel? Press 1. If I see a tank tread roll up, I will hate watch Titans for the channel and report back to you guys. What do you think about it? Vice City is almost Miami Vice game, except it focuses on the criminals. Yeah, and the more I watch Miami Vice, the more I realize the influences. Because I was Grand Theft Auto first, then Miami Vice second, and then we had, then I experienced it. All right, so it looks like a lot of people want me to hate watch it. Okay, I'll hate watch it. That's too cruel. Yeah, but it's funny. I know people will be like, "Oh my God, Jeff, that's so gross. That's so bad." 7. Oh my God, a 7. You know what that means, right? Neither do I. The DJD shows hate watching it for channels too. Folks, check out the DJD show on Twitter, on here. DJD show is a fun, entertaining dude. So make sure you get some of that show in your life. What if you end up liking it? Then I'll admit to liking it. You guys have to understand something. I'm not above. I'm all about being honest. That's what this channel is built on. Like, I didn't like episode 7, but I liked Rogue One, and I was honest. I was actually too kind to that movie. If you go back and listen to my review, I was like, oh my God, there was no SJW crap, blah, 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 blah. It was awesome. They all died at the end. I'm so happy. The Death Star. Oh, Star Wars is next. I was pumped. And like someone said last night on the live stream for the patrons, the Rogue One was the reason they went and saw episode 8 because of the goodwill that Rogue One brought them. I thought Rogue One was excellent at the time. It's fallen down to like a solid 7 out of 10 for me. Maybe it's my favorite Star Wars film. But if I like it, I like it. Same with Captain Marvel, same with anything. I'm not going to lie to you guys for a laugh. I'll critique the hell out of it in the best way I can to make you laugh. But if it's something that blows me away or I'm like, it's not that bad, I'll be honest. You can always trust me on that kind of stuff because I take into account the heavy-handedness and I look for it. And if I don't find it overt or if it doesn't ruin the plot, well, then I'll just be like, you know what? It's there, but you can get through it. If it's too much like an Ozark, I'll tell you to fuck that show. Herpakismic Derpington, thank you very much. Hate watching Titans? You're better than me. Better you than me. Well, yes, better me than you. That's why you guys come to this channel, to hear me ruin my own life through bad entertainment. By the way, folks, this week I had, this past week on Friday, I told you guys I'm watching a new movie each week that I had never seen. So I watched Falling Down, and it was a damn good movie. I'll talk about it more tonight because I want to hear Dion get mad that I watched it and liked it. But it'll be funny to hear Kendo defend that. I was very honest about Solo. Thank you, Nathaniel Rourke. I appreciate that. I was honest. I make all the Star Wars videos. You know, they get popular views and stuff like that. But I'm not going to lie in them to keep you guys hooked. You know, I'll get to the point of it, and I'll just produce something else. Am I going to hate watch Doctor Who? I'm so far behind on Doctor Who that I just don't think so. I'd have to watch the Capaldi stuff first. I'm not as invested with Doctor Who as I am DC Comics as a brand. I really want DC Comics to be great because the Marvel alternative in print is garbage. I don't care. Look at all the Batman dick in the world is still better than America Chavez comic books. Or they asked me about my feminist agenda, opinions about Israel crap. That comic book, those are just stupid. There's a reason these books die right away. Because they're not any good. Yeah, I thought Donnie Yen and K2SO were the best parts of Rogue One. Fantastic. Fantastic characters. Seriously, I bought a K2SO action figure. Yeah, I got it on clearance, but I do own K2SO, and I also own Director Krennic, which I think I may have paid full price for because I really liked Krennic. I liked that built upon the world of A New Hope, my favorite Star Wars movie. And so I like the movie still, but it's a 7 out of 10, maybe a 6.5. I'd have to rewatch it a third time. But it is not the worst Star Wars flick. Not the best, but it's definitely better than 7 and 8, and better than Episode 2 and Episode 1? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It gets a little boring in parts. It gets a little heavy. Political themes can be handled well in movies. Look at Goldie Wilson in Back to the Future. Progress is his middle name. I like the sound of that. I love that movie. I could do a watch party for Back to the Future every month and never get tired of it. Oh, by the way, our Twilight Zone thing has become a little different, and not for you guys, for us. So originally it was going to be my top 5 episodes, and then last night on the show, after we got off of here, Kendo's like, man, I really want to get involved with that. So Nick's like, yeah, me too. So now it's going to be a top 5 list of all of ours. We're going to combine lists, and we're going to, compare and contrast and see what we want to put on there. So it's going to get a lot better. The bullshitters are all going to be involved. By the way, if you guys like me and this channel and you like the holiday of Halloween, we have some news for you. On Halloween, Wednesday, October 31st, 2018, we're going to do an all-day stream. We're going to beat Jeremy to the punch. Depending on what the news is, Good Morning Pop Culture will be Happy Halloween Pop Culture, where we're going to start out with all the guys in the morning, and we're just going to keep on rolling all day long. And I don't mean just the 8 hours that are limited to this. We're going to come back and relaunch the stream, and we're just going to keep on going and going and going all day for Halloween, because I'm an adult. I don't have plans. I have parties I'm going to before and afterwards, but Halloween is going to be an all-day live stream. We're going to do movies. We're going to talk about horror. It's just going to be a lot of fun. So unless the new Star Wars trailer drops or Kathleen Kennedy is fired from a cannon into the sun or a trebuchet, bank on an all-day Halloween stream. So if you're off work that day, or you're just somebody that doesn't work on the day or in the day, you're retired, hang out with us all day. We may even figure out how to do call-ins by then and have people join us for movies and stuff like that. So Halloween is my favorite holiday. It's the channel's favorite holiday. Paired. Reed Palancia, thank you very much for your very, very generous super chat. A good villain does not see themselves as evil. There are too many cookie-cutter villains out there with no real depth. Why do you think writers are so skimpy on character creation? A good villain sells better than a hero. Yes. Let me break down this one, because there's a couple of points I want to make that I want to talk about. Yeah, there are too many cookie-cutter villains. Depth is important. Let's use Hans Gruber, one of the best movie villains ever. Not just one of the best action movie villains, one of the best movie villains. Because, Darth Vader, it goes without saying. He's conflicted, he's emotional, he redeems himself, all that stuff. But let's use somebody like a Hans Gruber, who... and also can subvert your expectations with Hans Gruber. So Hans Gruber comes in. He's this well-spoken, erudite, well-dressed man. He talks about Forbes. He talks about 60 Minutes. He talks about John Phillips of London. He can talk about men's fashion all day. He's a very interesting character in that regard. Then you find out he's nothing but a common crook. You think he has these big, in-depth motivations, Asian Dawn and all this, and I want the free radicals of whatever country, nation. And it just turns out he wants to steal some money. And then when it comes down to it, he, just falls out a window and dies. But there's so much depth that Alan Rickman brings to the role. He's a fantastic actor in the first place. But he's so funny, he's entertaining. He's as good as Hans Gruber. Or he's good as John McClane. He is Hans Gruber. But he's as good as that. So that's why the other Die Hard movies kind of fall, because there are no great villains. There's the military guys in Part 2. They're not that good. You have... Hans Gruber's brother in Part 3. I love Jeremy Irons as an actor, but he's not that good. Timothy Olyphant, again, a good actor. I just don't think he was that great in Die Hard 4. And then I guess McClane was the villain himself in Die Hard 5. But yeah, you have the Joker from Batman 89. He's as good as Batman, and that's why those movies work. Nowadays, Marvel is guilty of this. They have great heroes, great hero development, but the villains are non-existent. Do you remember what Malekith said? No, I can't remember a single line of dialogue. I know he wanted the ether. That's about it. Do you remember Aldrich Killian? Maybe you remember Tony Stark left him up on the roof. He's a little more interesting because he's like a darker Tony Stark. Or Obadiah Stane. But Obadiah Stane isn't memorable because he's a great villain. He's memorable because he's Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges is Jeff Bridges. Whiplash. What was he about? I don't really know. What's my board? Fuck that movie. Sorry. This is the Black Label episode of World Class Bullshitters. Excuse me. No, but Reed, you're 100% right about this, man. Good villains sell better than a hero. And a good villain... See, the thing is, adversity is the most important part of any story. It's about overcoming adversity. Be it McClane trying to beat 10 terrorists to get to his wife. Be it James Bond up against like James Bond being out in the wild and coming up against, an army of guys and a 00 agent that used to be his brother at quotation marks and all this shit, and the world, coming to an end the fiscal world's coming to an end if he doesn't achieve that goal. Like, good adversity is what a hero needs in a wrestling match. Even if you don't like wrestling matches, one of the best moments for me was to watch The Rock beat Triple H as a kid, because it was months of him being beaten down, cheated out of the title, all this stuff. And finally, when he overcomes the adversity, you're really happy, you're really moved, you're really into the moment. All movies need that. All TV shows need that. I'm sure people are going to hate watch The Walking Dead to see what happens with Negan. Me personally, I won't. By the way, I believe it's Brandon Moist. We will get your Walking Dead episode scheduled, my friend, so be prepared for that. But why do I think the writers are so skimpy? Is because the writers aren't that good. It jumps off the other super chat from earlier. The writers nowadays just aren't as talented. The other writers that are super talented are doing their own thing. Maybe it was cool to want to work on movies back in the day, but some people, like a James Patterson, they just write their own novels. They have all the creative control they want. There are a lot of artists out there that want full creative control, and I get that. I'm an artist. I do want creative control. So maybe that's it. Maybe people are just dumber nowadays, and they don't get it. Maybe these kids grew up on crap, and they don't know the classics. That's why the stuff from the 80s is so impactful and still meaningful today, because the stuff that people were influenced, like John Carpenter was influenced by shit from the 50s and before. So then he brought it to a new lens in the 80s, and it worked because it was already strong. They strengthened it. He took ideas. Nowadays, people like really dumb stuff, and it's going to continue to get dumber until you have something smart make $1 billion in its opening weekend, and then everything will try to be like that. Superfan Adam Shawhan, thank you very much. 6-time, damn. You have more copies of Stealing Solo than anyone in the world saw Solo in theaters. Kids grew up on Super Baby Geniuses. Ooh, it's a terrible movie. That's a terrible, terrible movie. Yeah, Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter was brilliant. That is an excellent example of a good villain over the hero. I don't even think Jodie Foster is that interesting in the first place. So, yeah, Hannibal Lecter, man, all the way. I'm looking at my list of movies right now to further that point. Magneto and the X-Men. Those movies are interesting. Plus, Magneto doesn't see himself as the bad guy, We're the future, Charles, not them. All he's doing is fighting for mutant rights. He's doing it differently, but him and Charles have the same goal. And because of Charles' ideology, Magneto is the villain. It's real, and it's interesting too when Mystique loses her powers in X3 and Magneto abandons her. That is a really cool and a really telling scene. So, yeah, villains are great. I'm looking at some of my favorite movies. Let me think about my favorite movies. Back to the Future, Biff, memorable bad guy, love him. Star Wars, Darth Vader. Die Hard, John McClane. Beverly Hills Cop, Victor Maitland. Now, a lot of people don't know Victor Maitland, but for what Beverly Hills Cop is, Victor Maitland's actually really good, because there's more under the surface of Beverly Hills Cop besides Eddie Murphy going out to Hollywood, California. It's a class story. The rich versus the poor, the underdog versus the made man. Like he says, what are you, cops or doormen? We're more likely to believe a local businessman than some foul-mouthed jerk from out of town. Foul mouth. I'm not going to get into it. My point is, those villains work. Those villains are all memorable in their own right. And I think if more people watched Beverly Hills Cop nowadays, they'd realize just how good all the cast is, from the small James Russo appearance in the beginning to other stuff towards the end. There are a lot of great movies out there, folks. Make sure you watch them. And back to Falling Down real quick. You can watch the hero become the villain right before your eyes. Like they say in The Dark Knight, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And that was Michael Douglas in Falling Down. Let's have a Beverly Hills Cop trilogy watch party. Yeah, we can do that. I'll give you a date soon. I got a calendar full of stuff. We can do all those. Dion fears the Wiener Dog clan. Well, if they were a horse clan, I'm sure he would be crying. By the way, I'm going to take this tonight. I got something funny to show you guys on World Class Bullshit, so don't miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Do you think we live in the worst time for movies? I meant what movies will be really remembered for in 20 years. Or I mean, what movies will be remembered in 20 years? Besides Avengers? And I'm not trying to keep pumping on the Marvel, hey, everybody, Marvel's so great. But they'll be remembered in the next 20 years because of how different they were, unless Captain Marvel shits the bed and we go down a path that we cannot return from. I don't think we're in the worst time for movies. There is some great stuff that comes out. I think some of the worst time for movies would have been the earlier 2000s. Yeah, maybe Hollywood was less PC, but the stories they were telling were, I don't know. I have to go back and look. We're not going to be like in the Hays Code era where stuff is so censored and cut back. We may have different and weird ideologies about entertainment, from the fan base to the people that or to producers of the product itself, but at least you don't have as many restrictions in terms of censorship. Like, oh, you can show people kissing or actually getting it on in a movie, and it's on Netflix. So I was going to say the 40s due to all the restrictions from the Hays Code, but I haven't seen a lot of movies from the 40s. I always think of, oh, darling, and they look at each other and they get that weird, like, foggy effect on the camera, and the woman's got the lighted eyes and all that shit's going on. In 20 years, though, it'll probably be remembered. I think, in general, this era of time will be remembered in a not-so-positive way. You have your crazy SJW people that will grow up, or the older ones will become more militant and crazy. But that large majority of the ones that are involved now will move on. They'll have families, both male and female, So one of these crazy radical people, oh, somebody got knocked up, I guess it's time to take care of business. And, not everyone's going to not step it up. Let's say a good percentage of people do. I have faith in humanity. Let's say they step it up. Now they're focused on being parents. They can't be too radical. Maybe Tuesday nights. Well, then little Junior has soccer practice and this and that. And then they just become parents and they soften their stance. And kids watch movies. And they're just like old hippies, like the Keatons. They have their beliefs, but after a while, they just kind of soften it up. It is a bad time for entertainment overall. I mean, if we count every piece of entertainment, yeah, music isn't that great. But then again, I don't listen to a lot of new music. The newest song I know is that song Havana. And it's my mom's ringtone. It's the only reason I know it. She's like, can you give me that as my ringtone? I'm like, yes, Mom, I can. And so I think the girl that sings is hot. But other than that, I don't really know too much modern music. Like, I know Kiss is leaving. They're going on a farewell tour. And I'm thinking about going because it's Kiss. And they're pretty cool in my book. John Wick was amazing. John Wick 2 was all right. Everyone needs to quit lying. I liked John Wick 2 a lot. I thought it was going to suck ass. I think the reason I liked it so much wasn't because of the crazy violent kills, was because I thought they were going to take the cheap approach and they were going to hide him in Europe the whole time. And no, he comes back to America. It's violent, it's gory. It really leaves you on a cliffhanger. Emotion is very important in film for me. And when I feel, something, I'm excited. Hey, Alec Munoz, you're 100% right. Let's see. Good morning, Jeff. Thanks for making my mornings awesome. This is pretty bad time for movies. They only seem to know how to remake shit. Yes, this is the remake era, or the remake error, if you want to call it that, to be punny. I guess that's why I'm watching old stuff now. I don't watch modern TV shows. I will watch The Goldberg when that comes back next week. I think that show's fantastic. But I'm watching a lot of old stuff. Like I'm going through Third Rock from the Sun. I'm watching Falling Down. I watched Mission Impossible the other day. Just old stuff that I had never seen before, or in terms of Mission Impossible, I haven't seen in like a couple years. To a simpler time, people can bitch, well, the CGI wasn't that good. That doesn't mean dick. Okay, if the story's there, if the intensity's there, that's what matters. Joel Schumacher is going to be remembered as the Batman and Robin director. And then unjustly, he'll be lumped in as Batman Forever as a garbage movie. Look, Batman Forever is a step down from Batman 89, but it's way better than Batman Returns. I like it more than Batman Returns, and it's way better than Batman and Robin. And Joel Schumacher made some really good stuff. Falling Down and The Lost Boys are two excellent movies. The Lost Boys is my favorite vampire flick. If you got to have one, at least go with that one. They don't sparkle in the sun. And, Corey Feldman and Corey Haim are cool. It's just a really good 80s flick. It's a nice evolution of the Goonies, if you will. you like Linkin Park, try listening From Ashes to New. I don't really like Linkin Park. I liked him when I was in the 7th grade, and then I realized that my life doesn't suck and I don't want to cut myself, so I just stopped listening to Linkin Park completely. The song Numb is still all right in my eyes, or to my ears, I should say. I think it's a decent song. Have I ever seen any Lucio Fulci films? Yeah, I have. Did Lucio Fulci do opera? Or is that Dario Argento? I've seen some. My cousin's a big Italian horror fan. He used to actually run his own website. I was like, Euro horror DVDs. These distributors used to send him free shit, but then he just, stopped doing it. So that's the sad part about the internet. If you do something big and then you stop, time rolls on. So just keep on rolling, baby. You gave up on American TV. You watch foreign shows. I just don't have too much time. I dusted off my Nintendo Switch to try the new online service, and that's about the little bit of free time I had. I like Batman Returns. Well, few like Batman Returns a lot. Few scenes get a little too awkward. Or while I like Batman Returns a lot, I just don't like how Batman Returns is so set-bound and boring and, I don't know, constrictive. It's like that pair of underwear Garth talks about in Wayne's World, too. Let's see what other news we got today from the world of entertainment. Hell, is there any video game news to cover? Let's see if there's any woke bullshit articles over on Kotaku. Why did I go to Kotaku? Apparently in my history, a Kotaku article from 2011 is in the history. Some about WWE SmackDown. Let's see. We don't care about the PS Vita. I'm not going to disable my ad blocker for Kotaku. Why would I? Oh, this weekend's the Tokyo Game Show. Maybe I'll look into this more later. It's going to get too confusing. Oh, this is what I wanted to talk about. The PlayStation Classic. I know we have a good amount of people that are older than me that listen to this show. There we go. Yeah, Cadmium Red. The PlayStation Classic. I know we have gamers out there. And let's talk about this. I'll use Kotaku. Ugh. I hate to give them... We're not going to say their name anymore. They're like Voldemort. So, Nintendo is the progenitor of the... Well, I can't say the progenitor, but Nintendo is the best-known classic console creator. These vintage consoles. They've had some for Sega. They've had them for Atari. And now they're doing one for PlayStation. And this is going to be $100. It comes preloaded with 20 games. It has 2 controllers, but guess what? They're not the good controllers. They're the classic non-analog stick controllers. They're 40% smaller than the system is 40% smaller than the original PlayStation. And I, for one, have no interest in buying this. Why? Because PS3 can play PS1 games. I have a PS3. It's old, but it works. Yeah, they are trying to resell the PS1. Black Angus reviews. Yeah, I've thought of that. I've definitely thought of that. I'd rather buy an actual PS1 as well. I don't get the nostalgia for the PlayStation 1 because it's what I grew up with. I would be in that demographic of being nostalgic for it. I just remember the system being weird and ugly, and then we had one when it was new. Like, we got one in 1996, and all I wanted was a Nintendo 64 because I didn't like the PlayStation brand at the time. I didn't like the characters. We didn't have Crash Bandicoot. We had dumb games like Battle Arena Toshiden, Armored Core 2, right? Armored Core. We had Iron Man, Exo Manowar, Heavy Metal or Full Metal. We had that game. That was one of the games I did get. And then I said to my mom, I want a Nintendo 64 and I want GoldenEye. So Christmas 98, I got my N64. I'm just not nostalgic for PlayStation. It's so ugly. Adam Shawhan, thank you very much. Excuse me, super fan. Madman Adam Shawhan. Your art for my skin, real. Your art, my skin, though. For real. I'll email you later, sir. All right, I can do something. If you're going to have me do a tattoo for you, I'm going to make sure I go super, super detailed. Because I don't want to give somebody a tattoo that's like, man, that line could be a smidge crisper. But thank you, Super Fat Adam Shy, and you'll be the first person to get my art tattooed on him. The PS1 was best, second only to the SNES. See, I will take the PS2 over the PS1 any day of the week. PS2 had a lot of great games. The consoles I grew up with, the N64 and PS2. I had N64 as well. I guess I'm nostalgic for the N64. I'll admit that the PS1's a better system than the N64. Yet sold more consoles, it had more games. But the N64 had a lot stronger of a core library. I mean, yeah, Metal Gear Solid, Crash Bandicoot, Final Fantasy, and I don't know, Ridge Racer 7. But we'll do Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Mario 64, GoldenEye, and Mario Kart. Also had Banjo-Kazooie, Super Smash Bros., Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Snap was a good game. There were tons of great Nintendo 64 exclusives. PlayStation, I had it. I've had every PlayStation, sometimes multiple versions. I had the original PSX like this, then I had the PS1 Mini. Then I had the PlayStation 2, then I had a PlayStation 3 Fat, then that got stolen. Then I have a PlayStation 3 Sim and a PlayStation 4. I like the PlayStation brand. There's the games that they're talking about for this system. They only announced 5. They're not that great yet. Resident Evil. They haven't announced Resident Evil on this system yet. I do like Resident Evil. 4 is my favorite one, though. Wu-Tang Clan was the baddest on PS1. For $100, I could get an original PS1 and 20 games better than what they pick. True. Very true. Let me tell you what they got, and then I want to bounce off of what David Hervey said. So the games they're offering you on the PlayStation Classic, there's only 5 announced so far. It'll be out on December 3rd, and you'll have Final Fantasy VII, Jumping Flash, Ridge Racer, Type 4, Tekken 3, and Wild Arms. There'll be 20 games bundled in total. Well, until I see the full list, I'm not going to be putting out any money for that. Like I told you guys, I got the Nintendo streaming service to check out. Basically, it's just an NES library on my Switch. I've been playing through Super Mario Bros. 3 at lunch. But David Hervey said WWF No Mercy. Yeah, WWF No Mercy is the best N64 wrestling game. The contemporary games for that year were SmackDown 2, Know Your Role, which is a great game, and then there was WWF Royal Rumble, which is not. So, No Mercy for the win. Ocarina of Time is regarded as the Citizen Kane of video games. Yeah, it is. It really is that fun. I do like Twilight Princess and Breath of the Wild almost as much. Maybe not as much. I gotta play through those again. Nintendo, if you're hearing me out, please re-release the next Legend of Zelda. Not the next one. Please re-release Twilight Princess on the Switch. I'll buy it in 1 minute. I'm passing on this thing. This is why RetroPies exist. Yeah, Nick, Big Rig, Nick Utam, he loves his RetroPie. I do like emulation and stuff. I'm not opposed to it. If I own a real game, it's just having a digital backup. I have no guilt in that. I don't know. There's not too much stuff on the original PlayStation that I'm dying to play unless I get that up-converted HD stuff. Then I want to play some old stuff like Tony Hawk 2. Oh my god, that game's fantastic. I think I put like 70 hours into that game. I'm damn good at some Tony Hawk. At least the SNES and the NES Classics, you can hack them to add all the other games to the system. I doubt the PlayStation Classic can do the same. We'll find out together, guys. This news was announced, I believe, yesterday. So this is one of the first times we're reporting video game stuff here on the channel. And, a buddy of mine imported a PS1 from Japan almost a year before it was launched in Europe. Still playing on my Genesis at the time. Blew my effing mind. My introduction to the PlayStation was my cousin had one. Well, my uncle bought it for the kids. So my cousin's 6 months younger than I am. So it was him and his brother and sister who are also younger than me. And they had a PlayStation. I was like, Mom, they got this thing called a PlayStation. So my mom was remarried at the time. And we rented a PlayStation from Hollywood Video. And I remember it came in a giant padded briefcase. And we hooked it up, and I got Star Wars Knights of Terra Kasai, and they rented something else. And we got it, and I played it, and I think 2 months later we bought one, and it was neat. We didn't have a damn memory card though. That sucked. And then eventually we got one. And then, like I told you, I wanted an N64. Salvador, thank you very much for your super chat. At around the same price point, you can get a RetroPie with every PS1 game. The Classic doesn't justify the price point unless you can add games later. Well, I guess that is important. That is the case about expandable memory on one of these things. The little mini console's nice and cute. But if I could buy a mini console case like this, not the 3D printed ones that have the little grooves, but like an actual, to be honest, I wouldn't mind getting a defunct PlayStation 1 and putting a RetroPie into it with an HDMI output and a USB power supply out the back, and basically have a full-size PlayStation connected to a RetroPie, because I think it's a good-looking console. I like the design of all the PlayStations. I really wish Sony would have, instead of being greedy with the PlayStation 4, because I do like that system, I wish they would have decided, hey, you know what I'm going to do, or what we're going to do? We're going to make this backwards compatible with everything. That's how they could have made way more money on the PS4 Pro is, you get HDR, you get this, you get that. You also get backwards compatibility for every PlayStation game ever. I would have dropped another $500. Well, I paid $4 for the original one, but I'm saying I would have gotten it. Hands down, no question. I can confirm the emulation quality on the NES and SNES Classic are both inferior to the RetroPie. Ooh, I have not a Retron, Super NT, so I'm hoping that's going to be even better than that. Let's see. I think you could do that, Jeff. There might be a mod somewhere. I would love that. I like these systems. I like the shape. I like everything about them. Sony is greedy. Yes, they are. Let's see. Nobody can. All right. Let's see. Avengers 4 news. We all like the Avengers, right, guys? Right. By the way, I finally figured out how to do picture-in-picture on my video editing software, so I may do a hot takes video in the style of the quartering very soon. So let's pull this up and let's play Inspector Gadget together. By the way, somebody posted a work-in-progress photo of an Inspector Gadget figure that's supposedly coming out soon. And I was a little giddy. Giddy as a schoolboy. He was never giddy even as a schoolboy, some would say. Well, that's not the case. Best video game villain? I don't know, man. Ganondorf's legit. I don't do a lot of the games that a lot of people would rank on these lists. Like, I don't play Final Fantasy or any of that kind of stuff. I'm a big Grand Theft Auto guy. I do like my wrestling games. Got tons and tons of video games. A lot of the video games I do owned are licensed, though. Joker from Arkham Asylum? I don't know. Anyway, Avengers 4. Russo brothers seemingly tease title, but no one can agree on what it is. So this comes from IGN. Update. Another intriguing possible clue from the Russo brothers' Avengers photo has lent more credence to the idea that the Avengers Assemble may be in fact the title for the sequel. Eric Matthews, no relation to Boy Meets World, Eric Matthews, on Twitter responded to Slash Films, noting that an item in the photo looks to be an object that needed to be seen in Avengers Infinity War at the Avengers facility. That item is present in the scene on the film's Blu-ray, is found during the chapter titled Avengers Assemble. There's an object on the left that appears in the Avengers facility in Infinity War. The chapter on the Blu-ray where the scene takes place is called Avengers Assemble. So it looks to be like some kind of missile or rocket. I know we're all reading into this, but I'm interested in knowing the title of the next film, Avengers Assemble. Are they going to do the song from the cartoon, Earth's Mightiest Heroes? Avengers Assemble! That'd be kind of cool. Of course, as we noted in our original story, Avengers Assemble is the title of the original 2012 Avengers film in certain markets outside the United States, which would lead to some confusion. Should Avengers 4 be given that same title? Stay tuned to IGN for more. I won't be. No, thank you. So what do you guys think about Avengers Assemble? Would you give it a different title? I know some people would. Our friend David Hervey, thank you for the chat. The N64 Classic would be a better seller than the PS1 Classic because systems like RetroPie 64 emulation is horrible. PlayStation is a lot easier to emulate. Yeah. Also, David, imagine like source code, full scale up-resing. I know the N64 has murky graphics and look like shit for the most part, but if the N64 Classic is announced to have GoldenEye and just GoldenEye, I'll buy it for GoldenEye alone. I need an easy way to play that. That's my favorite video game of all time. I was really excited for the remake for the Xbox, but it got canceled by Nintendo. So damn you, Nintendo. Just give me the game and I'll buy it again. But an N64 one would probably sell better because Nintendo would pump out Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart, Mario 64, GoldenEye, Banjo-Kazooie. I would love WWF No Mercy, but they wouldn't put it in the game because of Chris Benoit. So that's 5 games right there that I just listed. They'd probably have Banjo-Tooie, Donkey Kong 64. Jesus, what else would they put on that thing? They'll probably put Kirby, which I wouldn't play. Oh, Smash Brothers, a Pokemon game or two. It could be so much fun. I'll go out and pre-order that shit. I'll go out and pre-order that shit in a heartbeat. Why is GTA 5 ruined? Star Wars Episode 9, The Balance of the Force. Hormonal imbalance of the Force is more like it. Perfect Dark is needed for N64. I hope they don't give Perfect Dark and not GoldenEye. I hope you get both, or just GoldenEye. I'm greedy, but I prefer both for everybody. Splinter Cell Trilogy Remastered. Next Gen GoldenEye was Herod. I would like Siphon Filter to be remade for PlayStation 4. Anybody play that game? When you could tase a guy to death and then he catches fire? Oh, people saying, except Carl Manders will be saying Avengers Assemble. It should be Nick Fury. Yes. They're going to give the group. That'll be bullshit if she's the one that gets to say it. After all the times we're going to hear it, Captain America tries to say it, and it'll be a funny moment. And I would really praise the movie as if Captain Marvel's like Avengers, and then the shield comes up and he goes, I got this one. And then he's about to say it and something happens. And it never gets said in any of the movies. Now, that would be fun. Rare is a joke now. All the good people left. Yeah. They're making the little icons for Xbox. A lot of love for Siphon Filter. I'm very proud to be involved with this community now, guys. Gabe Logan and Leon Zing. 2 of the most underrated PlayStation characters ever. Salvador, thank you very much for your super chat. Going to see Avengers 4 is going to be like visiting someone in hospice. Going to say goodbye before the MCU passes on. I like the analogy. Well, that'd be a simile, right? Like or as. Not important. But Salvador, it is. You don't want to see it go. It's like, the last day of school or something. Like, I liked going to college. It's like that last day, like, oh man, it's over. Like, I'm happy because it's over, but I'm sad because it's over at the same time. So with Avengers, we're gonna see this epic conclusion to the saga, but at the same time, it might go out with a wet fart, a big wet fart, or just a little stinky one. I don't know. No matter what kind of fart it is, Captain Marvel's expression will not change. She'll just stare at you dead in the eye, and you will move on to something else. Avengers 4, Captain Marvel, that spanks Thanos. Oh my god. Have you ever seen the Batman Papa Spank thing? Since we talked about Batman's wiener, let me show you guys something funny from Batman. So this is old. Really old. This is like what, 19? Is this 39 Batman? There you go. So Batman is drugging a woman. Instead of bad comic book art, we should just do a segment called "What the fuck happened in this comic book?" WTF Comics. That would be a lot of fun, right? Oh, cadmium red. That's actually a really depressing thing to say. So so just there you go, guys. Read that for yourself. Captain Marvel has a milk jug for a face. Ah, Jesus, that's a harsh burn. I understand, though. I understand. So yeah, here we go. Quiet or Papa Spank. Batman, the makeup is quickly rubbed off. Let go of me. Quiet or Papa Spank. Well, Batman, keep your wiener in your tights and do what you must. Batman is based. Is that real? Yes, it is real. I don't edit these. I don't Photoshop these at all. Speaking of edits and Photoshops, though, I told you guys we'd be paying close attention to the possible end of the MCU because I care. I'm very concerned with the MCU dying. So I got a couple Captain Marvel memes to show you guys today. Oh, I remember what I wanted to tell you guys. We just signed up for another convention. So if you guys are excited to meet us, we're going to be at another Horror Hound. This time, Horror Hound Cincinnati. So if you're in this part of the Midwest and you want to come hang out with us, I got the table yesterday. We're confirmed. Come out and hang out. This is my city. So unlike last time where people are like, hey, you want to do this? I'm like, yeah, I don't know where it is, though. I know where everything is now. So let's see. Oh, I got a couple fun segments to show you guys. I'm going to make sure I give these people the proper shout outs this morning. Not this morning, but tonight on Good Morning Pop Culture. Or why can't I speak? I guess it's because I drank shitty McDonald's coffee instead of good Starbucks. And, that was not a good decision. So let's look at Batman for one last time. Papa Spank, better than Papa Smurf. And if you get that reference, I apologize in advance for ever bringing it up here on this channel. So, folks, let's look at some stuff that has been made for us. Like I said, I will give everyone proper shout-outs tonight. I just kind of posted these to my phone and upload them to Messenger so we could check these out. Because I just wanted a good laugh this morning. I'm always thinking about what I can do for Good Morning Pop Culture, because this is the most important show. You're working and lurking. You're on your way to work. You're on your way to school. You need to get your day started just right. So let's see if I can pop these up properly on Facebook without there you go. So we didn't get a Megazord for the most unlikable actresses, but we did get a Voltron of these unlikable ladies. So you guys remember how we talked about the Megazord of unlikability? We have Woketron, Defender of the Universe. So, oh my God, like I said, I will give the proper shout out tonight because this is meme winner of the week right here. Damn it, this is amazing. So we have Natalie Portman is the little robot head. Anne Hathaway is the left arm. Emma Watson is the right arm. Gwyneth Paltrow is the left leg, and Brie Larson is the right leg. So we have our Voltron, our Woketron, if you will. I talk about the Megazord of unlikability. Well, you know what? Woketron is just good enough for me. It makes me laugh so much. We really need to invest in 3D printing technology so I can go make a 3D printed Woketron and sell it at conventions. Like, you guys like Woketron? We got the Natalie Portman attachment, the little bitty Natalie Portman head. All out of bubblegum. Thank you very much for your super chat. Is Papa Spank what Dion says to Lena Dunham? Maybe. Maybe it is. We'll have to ask him tonight. All out of bubblegum. Dion is a well-spoken man who has a dark side. Yes, Natalie Portman is Padme in Star Wars, but she's also kind of arrogant. To Harvard. That's good, Natalie Portman. You went to Harvard. A celebrity who started out as a child actor made it into Harvard. Whoopity-doo! What does it mean? It means you went to Harvard, so congratulations. Do I think Hot Toys and SH Figures will sculpt Batman's peen in future toy lines? If they're smart, they will. Batman's peen is the most desired toy of the 2018 Christmas season. I mean, there are literally dozens and dozens of people out there who want the Batwiener toy. I mean, I'm not one of them, but there are dozens of people. Like I say, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. So for those few individuals that need bat peen, well, I'm sure you'll get it in 2018, just in time for Christmas. If they're so into equality, why is Harvard more important? I guess anything to elevate yourself. You know, these people have ideals until they can build themselves up, and then it doesn't matter anymore. They want to be superior. So let's see what else we got here. Oh my God, it's too small to read. I'll show these tonight. I'll find bigger ones to share them on the channel tonight. It's a Captain Marvel Batman meme. It says, "Your movie looks like a Netflix show," and then she smacks her. Glasses right off of her face. That meme's not going to get old. I mean, Captain Marvel might be the most memeable Marvel trailer ever. So let's keep this thing rolling. Speaking of rolling, I was rolling when I saw these pictures of terrible Halloween costumes. Early bird ticket package. I can't promise that for Stealing Solo Captain's parody. Only available on Indiegogo for 1 month now. But I can promise some fun. Can't promise any early bird, if you know what I mean. So I was, for some reason, on a Facebook website or a Facebook link, and it showed me this. Can anyone guess who this is supposed to be? The Voltron forgot Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence is the sword, or she should be the chest. Black Lion. Captain Marvel / Miss Marvel doesn't Rogue from X-Men steal her powers and put her in a coma. Yes, that is true. That's exactly what happens. But because Anna Paquin's not going to be involved with this flick, we're going to have to deal with Captain Marvel just being unlikable through the decades. Stop hating on Jennifer Lawrence. She showed me her turd cutter. I got to start screening these before I read them. I just said turd cutter on air. There you go. You got me to say something crazy. Call me Jeremy. I just did it. Oh, God. Since when did R2D2 become so tall? That's the question I was wondering. This isn't even the best one, though. This one is pretty awesome. The Silver Surfer in tinfoil. It's funny. It made me laugh. But, you know, bonus points for this dude. Good for you, bro. But this is the one that makes me disturbed. This dude in a Spider-Man thong as Tigger. What? What is this? What the hell is this? What has this show become? Luke, the news is they have announced the next James Bond director. There's also a dude in a thong dressed as Tigger. I can't look at that anymore. Why is Jeremy dressed as Tigger? because he's tired of coming at you with another video. He wants to make it the next Christopher Robin movie. He was a little mad that he couldn't get into that film. Those are Jimmy pants. Oh my God. The bird is the word. What did I walk into? You walked into Good Morning Pop Culture. You know what happens, guys. You know what happens. I am Tigger. Hear me roar. Oh, man. What have I done? Oh. Oh my God, you guys make the show awesome every morning. Thank you to everybody. Oh man, I wish there's a little more news to share, but I gotta save one big story for World Class Bullshitters this evening. You know, it's a nice little hook to get you to come back tonight. And you know, World Class Bullshitters is the perfect segue into the weekend, if you will. That's kind of why we do it. So you can listen to the show, have a couple laughs, and then go enjoy your weekend. Or, you know, if you miss the episode when it's live, you can listen to it over the weekend. Hell, binge watch some episodes. Lay down. I listen to a lot of podcasts when I'm not doing much on the weekends. Do that with ours, man. Do that with ours. Imagine if we made some memes and they made it onto a PewDiePie video. Oh my God. I wish that could happen. I think we'd be a good crossover with JonTron. I know he doesn't know who we are, obviously, but I think a World Class Bullshitters JonTron collaboration would be awesome. They'd be like, who the hell are these guys? Hi, we're the World Class Bullshitters. Check us out on YouTube. Ding! And then, you know, we help JonTron. We CGI his parrot or whatever. The Moist has arrived. Oh my God, here we go. Oh, the new Devil May Cry 5 trailer is out. I will check that when I get off air. Definitely will check it off air. I guess people still do watch PewDiePie. Isn't he the most viewed YouTuber? I would kill to have those numbers. I would dry up Brandon Moist to get those numbers. Sorry, Brandon Moist. It's just the truth, bro. Just the truth. Just the facts, man. But real quick, back to the convention thing. Superfan Adam Shawhan made it out and hung out with us, and we had a fantastic time. And if you guys can make it to Cincinnati, it's March 15th through the 17th of 2019 at the Sharonville Convention Center. If you guys are considering it, Cincinnati is a cheap city to be in. We'll be here all weekend. And like I said, because it's my neck of the woods, I know where all the good stuff is at. The parties, the bars, the Costco that we're going to go cut out early and go have samples at Costco as a world-class bullshitters community. Trust me, I live here. I know it all. John Sean is not moist. Storytelling with music segment, Jeff. I could do something like that. I do have a segment of world-class, I do have a segment for this show that I have worked on. And once I get it perfected, we're going to do it, I have 2 segments, one for Monday, one for Friday. Any news from the future today? Well, let me go look at my parallel calendar clock. There's always news from the future. Future is always in motion. We covered the PlayStation Mini. It comes out December 3rd. It's $100. It's got 20 games. They've only announced 5 so far. No AC adapter. So when you plug in the system, you better have your own phone charger because Sony has cheaped out officially. Yeah, we still have the same president. Take that, either way you want to. Bedtime Stories with Uncle Jeff. Turn Ryan the Build Builder into a poem with music for the first. I actually have gotten the okay from Subversive Jake. We've just been so busy about Ryan the Boatmaker. Press 1 if you've heard Ryan the Boatmaker. Press 2 if I'll read Ryan the Boatmaker on tomorrow's Good Morning Pop Culture again. So that gives you a reason to stick around for tomorrow's show. I will redo Ryan the Boatmaker. It'll be fun for everyone. Jeff, you should do it. I would trade my blank for a game, but it has to be something valuable. Oh my god. Okay, so I will never trade a body part. All right, here you go, folks. Let's play this game right now. Who gave me that idea? So this is I Am Become Death Destroyer of Worlds. Thank you very much for all you do. You're here all the time. I would trade my blank for a game. Okay, so you're going to tell me what you would trade for a mint condition Action Comics #1 valued at $1 million. So essentially, what would you trade for that $1 million thing? And it doesn't have to be $1 million item. It would just have to be something that I would give you the comic book for. Let's say I don't like comic books. So you would trade your blank for this comic book. And best one wins points. God of Bacon, I'm glad you wouldn't. I would trade my wife. You win, JP's Bowl. Oh, man. Can somebody top the wife? Can somebody top the wife? Ooh, a Thai ladyboy sex slave. Cesare Japan. Joel would definitely take you up on that trade. I would trade my entire collection of Star Trek original laser discs. Joel would also take you up on that trade, John. I would trade my mom for that comic book. King Eric, ooh, man. Mothers and wives are being traded for a comic book. I mean, it is the most valuable comic book in the world, so. Oh, Neil Wessner, I would trade my unborn child. Fuck! Oh, my God. The deed to Ohio, says the Pui. I already own. I remember I'm the Lord and Master of Ohio. Doomcock has gifted it to me. So the Pui, because I like you, I would still take it. I'll get the official deed. I won't have to take over. I'll be given it. My mother's virginity, says Jesus A. Apollos Jr. Damn. You guys really, really want this Action Comics #1. Tim Kress, I'll trade my 17-year-old daughter. Could somebody top the wife? Good morning, cut culture. Oh, Trent, you betrayed me. You know good. I'm fed up with this world. I would trade the entire world-class bullshitters crew. Sorry. We're not for trade. We cannot be bought in stores. Let's see. My Adam Shawhan would trade his left nut for that Action Comic #1. Damn. My VHS tape of episode 4 without Lucas as edits, the original theatrical cut. Well, Salvador, I have some bad news. That VHS tape you have, the original Star Wars, isn't the original Star Wars. There has not been a VHS release that does not include the episode 4 title header. So there are no theatrical cuts of Star Wars on VHS. There are Laserdisc cuts on DVD, and there are fan-made edits of the originals. But on VHS, which came out in 1981, that is when the first changes to Star Wars were made. There are some audio changes as well. Tim, I'm with you, man. I understand where you're coming from. Ethan's entire Tico collection. Oh, Uncle E. Yeah, I would too. If somebody guaranteed, I think he'd be okay with it. He'd be like, shit, I like you guys. Here, take my Tico collection. Enjoy your $1 million. This Jeremy's cloning lab? Oh, okay. You know what? You give me the technology and the know-how to run Jeremy's cloning lab, and I will give you my Action Comics #1. So do we want to play another one of these real quick before we end the show? Naked Alice from the Brady Bunch. Already had one of those there, JP's mold. I'll take your wife, though, like you said. First trade, can't go back. No takesies. No take-backsies. Let's do, you know what? Somebody tell me the item you want to trade for, and then once I see the craziest one, then I'll tell you guys. You guys can tell me what you'd trade for it. Oh, no, I'm not ending early today. I'm just saying I have to save some of the news for tonight's World Class Bullshitters because I want the other guys to talk about it. Let's see. Do you think there should be a boycott of Captain Marvel? No. Everybody's got to make up their own mind. That's how this works. That's how all of this stuff works in the fandom menace as well as the online communities. You guys make up your own mind. All I can do is present you what is there. I can present to you historically what they do, how they market these things, and then show you the results. That's what you want. You want the results. Samurai Cop reference. So, Robert, you always make up your own mind. I will tell you my thoughts on the way this movie's marketed. I will tell you my opinions on the movie itself. I mean, if you, instead of boycotting it, if you'd like to wait to hear the channel review, that's what I can tell people to do is wait. Don't go see it opening weekend. Wait till you hear the review from critics you like or you trust, and then go make up your mind based on that. Don't buy into the shill media. I'm not trying to be overly militant when I say that, but this year's been bad for them. They really, really, really have taken a beating in terms of credibility. I know some people still watch them for entertainment, but I don't think you can watch them for the credibility anymore. Okay, so let's see. Ooh, a latest Lamborghini Aventador. That's great. I got flashed by Kelly Osbourne when she saw me, but she didn't know me from back in the day. My uncle was a roadie for Ozzy, and I would go touring during the summer. Kevin, that is the coolest story. Can anyone top a cool, true story like that? Kevin wins. That's the cool. I mean, it's Kelly Osbourne, but still, that's pretty cool that you can say that. I don't think many people can say that. I'm done with theaters. They just cost too damn much. They are pricey for one. I mean, I'm a single guy. I've been on movie dates, and you can drop like almost $100 at the theater. Let's say I take a girl to go see, I don't know, whatever's in IMAX. So $18 a ticket. It's $36 for us to go to the movie. A large popcorn's $12. 2 drinks is another $14. So what are we at? So 36 plus 12, it's 48. And then what I say for the 2 drinks, another 14. What was that? $52? No, $62. So yeah, it's like $62, and then parking. That's $70 just to go to a movie, popcorn, and drinks, and then dinner on top of that. Yeah, movies are expensive. Now, when I go by myself, I'll still get a ticket, popcorn, and stuff. I don't really mind if I'm going out on a date. You can't be cheap. If you can't afford to go out on a date and you want to do other stuff, fine. If you and her or your lady and you and him want to go to the park and stuff. Don't let money hold you back from going out and living life. Don't take that from what I'm saying. I'm just talking about movie theater experiences. They are pricey. I like throwing down the money for the big theatrical spectacle like I did with Avengers Infinity War. I saw Solo in IMAX. 3D? Did I do 3D? I don't know. I saw it in IMAX just because. That's all I can say is but yeah, I understand the prices, man. I understand. Soon they're going to be stroking you, though, with all the Netflix, Hulu, Fox streaming, Disney streaming, Marvel streaming, DC streaming, Funimation streaming. Well, they already have that. All the streaming apps. Filmation, the streaming app. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. There we go. EVS said Marvel Comics made Captain America a Nazi. Is that true? Yes, it is true. That is not a joke. They did that. They made him Hail Hydra. Was it last year? And people were talking about Nick Spencer. Then that guy was working on Spider-Man, and I stepped away. Well, I had stopped reading the book before that. The SJW shit keeps me away from Marvel. Superfan Adam Shine will trade everything in my office except Stealing Solo. Oh, Superfan Adam Shine. You'll have 6 copies to keep you warm in that office if you get too cold. Let's see. I'll trade you my Force Awakens popcorn Star Wars bucket. I had a Force Awakens Star Wars cup that I kept because they gave it to me months before the movie came out. And then once I saw the movie, I threw it away. I'm not joking. I said, fuck this movie. I crunched up the plastic cup. It was a good one. Okay. Abandoned and Forgotten says, crowdfunding makes America great. It is a cool thing. I do want to take the time again to thank everybody. As we've gone on the show, Stealing Solo keeps getting closer and closer to its first stretch goal. So we're at 29,444. And that's just a month. Seriously, Stealing Solo has an entire month to go. You guys are 147% of its goal. Nope, never mind. It's $29,504. So it's even higher than we thought. So, yeah, crowdfunding makes America great. It's exciting. It makes the world go round. You don't like something, make it yourself. Have an audience. They will help you make it a possibility. You guys are helping me make one of my dreams come true. So, like they said last night on the stream, I wanted to do comic books. People thought it was a waste of my time. I'm proving them wrong. I'm not one of those people that's on an ego trip where I have to prove people wrong, but it does feel nice being able to say, guys doubted me. Hundreds of strangers out there that support this channel didn't doubt me. They believed in me, and now look at it. So, Abandoned and Forgotten, thank you for your super chat. Thank you for reminding me that anything's possible. Kevin Garnett was right. The THX Masters of Star Wars also have different colors with the earlier tapes. The Specialized Edition restore the original colors. I have the Specialized Edition. Our friend John sent me copies, and I appreciate that. They're on. I have them. I really want to get do my own edit of Star Wars where I get the Blu-ray copy and the Specialized Edition and cut a few scenes here and there, and then basically have my ultimate cut of Star Wars. I could do that. Once Stealing Solo is done, I'm going to do that for myself for fun. That's going to be a weekend project. I'm going to cut my own copy of Star Wars and burn it to Blu-ray and watch it. What is my opinion on the Vader fan film? Well, thanks to our friend Sketch Therapy, I have a whole new respect for fan films, so I will watch it when it's available. I wish the guy making it all the best of luck in the world, and I hope it's as excellent as I want it to be. Let's see. Have I seen the Back to the Future manga? No, but I've played the Back to the Future Japanese video game, if that counts. Probably doesn't, but still. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. You love all the Comicsgate, but the only comic that interests me is Stealing Solo. I'll buy one tomorrow. I thank you very much. I didn't realize my speaker was on. Sorry about that, folks. I'll get off of this Facebook before I get distracted with all the funny memes and all the hilarity that ensues on the internet. Now, it's really cool though. I didn't know about the whole Comicsgate. I'm helping the guy keep his house. I'm assuming it was a dude. We'll just say the person keep their house, and that's a nice uplifting story. Do I sell my cut of Star Wars on eBay? No, I can tell you what my cut of Star Wars is going to be. It's not anything too crazy. It's going to be a hybrid of the special edition and the original because I'm not a slave to the original cut. yeah, I like it in a respect. If that's the only cut that ever existed, Star Wars would still be one of my favorite movies because that's what I saw first. The special edition, I saw it in theaters. I'd already been a Star Wars fan. I'd already had my first Star Wars Christmas, all that stuff. So I grew up with the original, but I do like certain changes. The whole Battle of Yavin is superior in the special edition. The big changes I would make would be the whole all the shit in the cantina and the area surrounding it would be from the original cut. No Jabba the Hutt, no Greedo shoots first, none of that crap. We'd also have the original Crate Dragon yell. We'd also have the original Luxor droid scene, stuff like that. I mean, you guys could do it yourself. It's just going to be a fun little. And I'm sure it probably exists out there, but I don't know how to find it or who has it. So I'm just going to do it myself. It's a pride thing. I'll trade you $1 for that big Millennium Falcon and a Darth Plagueis figure. Trent, I'm going to have to pass, my friend. My lady was like Ocean's 8 or Solo. I said, what's cheaper? She said Ocean's 8. Well, listen to the lady. Listen to the lady. And your wallet. Oh, I've been to the original trilogy website. I've read those forums extensively. I had to read those forums for some help on Stealing Solo because one of the first pages of Stealing Solo is a long time ago in a cinema not that far away. Whatever the wording is. No, a few years ago in a cinema far, far away. That's how Stealing Solo starts. I showed that in the video too. So that's not a spoiler, if you will. Imagine if one of your favorite movie franchises from the 80s or 90s got remade and suddenly went woke. What happens? Well, if Back to the Future gets woke, I will cry. I just cry. I'll sit here and instead of coffee, I'll drink Mountain Dew. I'll gain 45 pounds. My foot will fall off. I'll start playing Xbox exclusively, and I'll just lament the fact that this is the world I live in instead of, getting up, drinking coffee, doing the show, getting my life in the right direction. Hollywood, if you want to kill this channel, you remake Back to the Future with a black lady as Marty McFly, and Melissa McCarthy as Doc Brown. Crispin Glover is still George McFly somehow, and Leah Thompson plays Strickland. That is how you kill this channel, because that shit ain't ever going to happen, so I ain't going to go anywhere. Yeah, Scott, I'm going to remove the rocks from R2 as well. That's one of the ones I hate. Let's see, make it stop. I don't think Rambo ever sleeps. He can't. He's in the jungles. He'll get wiped out if he does. There's a cut of Alien with a bunch of raw footage. I'll have to check that out. I like Alien. Let's see. Jesus A. Sabalas Jr. says, that trailer was boring. My girlfriend yesterday. Which trailer? Jesus A. Sabalas Jr.? I'm trying to figure out which one. See you later, Xenomorph. It's going to be fun tonight, guys. All the bullshitters are going to be here. We're going to crack up. We're going to talk about the everything be Jordan hashtag McBree smile, all kinds of stuff tonight. There was an article from Screen Rant talking about recasting Superman, and you guys can tell me if it's a good choice or not. Let's see. Apparently, the SJWs are attacking Spider-Man video game for glorifying cops, calling it copaganda. These people are dumb. Spider-Man's always been a hero. The heroes, even Batman, respects the cops, even though they don't want him as a vigilante. Oh, the Captain Marvel trailer. Okay, Jesus. Yeah, I haven't shown that trailer to anybody because it came out Tuesday morning. I've just been working constantly. We had High Council, 2 things yesterday. We recorded an IT commentary last night, which is going to be exclusive to Patreon. So if you're a patron of the channel, you're going to get They Live, you're going to get It, you're going to get all kinds of extra stuff. And there's going to be all kinds of watch parties too in October. Just be prepared. Have I ever played Telltale's Back to the Future game? Not only have I played it, I own it on PS3 and PS4. So I love Back to the Future. The game's pretty damn good. And I love who did Marty McFly. He did a great voice. Yeah, the SJW butthurt over You know what? Should I make a Spider-Man SJW cops vid? What I'll do is I'll go back and I'll use some examples from the comic books of Spider-Man, helping cops. We'll use the Death of Gene DeWolf storyline. We'll talk about how he's always been kind of friendly. Spider-Man does do some stuff, though, for criminals, too. In Kraven's Last Hunt, there's a It opens with the death of a criminal, and Spider-Man pays money. He hands a stack of cash, he says, for a plot of land or something else. So there's a criminal that was like a stoolie for him, and he paid for him to have a proper burial. So Spider-Man kind of is a cool dude. Do I think Hollywood could collapse in some way due to this SJW woke, unoriginal, constant remaking actions? Yeah, Linnea, I do. What I think could happen is people stop going to theaters based on the unoriginality. I don't think everyone knows that it's called getting woke or going woke. They just don't like it. I know my cousins who are 26 and 24 or something like that. They're younger than me. They're not on this woke train. They're women. They don't buy into this stuff. They're just, that's not how they are. They're normal people, but they like movies. They like other stuff. For me, I'm in a weird scenario where I do stuff for the channel. Now, there are some movies I just won't go see for the channel because there's not enough interest in this community, like Predator or The Predators or whatever the fuck it's called, the new one. I'm not going to see it ever. Dion saw it. He'll give you a review tonight. But the constant remakes will, because people go, oh, they remade Annie, and was that a hit? No, I don't think it was. Let's see what the Annie remake did. They did a race swap for Little Orphan Annie, and they had Jamie Foxx's Daddy Warbucks, and it was not a hit. I don't believe so. See, Annie, 2014 film. Does everybody even remember this? So it has a 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has 33% on Metacritic, a 5.3 out of 10. Annie is a 2014 comedy drama, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. To generally negative reviews, but was a box office success. Okay, so it made 133 million against a budget of 65, but isn't the rule of thumb always 2.5 times that? So it technically didn't get the 2.5 times that. Just like A Wrinkle in Time. Now, this is coming from Wikipedia, so this is the opinion of the person. But other movies that have that kind of a budget that make the same in terms of, here, no, the budget is actually listed between 65 and 78. So Annie really wasn't that big of a hit. People didn't go see it. It didn't take the world by storm. Gender swaps, race swaps, all these things. Certain characters are iconic. No matter what character you try to wake up or get them woke, there are a contingent of people who care about the characters. It's not hard to respect a character. You want to talk about respect and all this other bullshit? Respect the character's lineage. You know, Batman should be Batman. Look a certain way. Dick or no dick. Don't show it on screen. It's in the rubber suit. We know that. But when you made Little Orphan Annie black, it didn't take off. It didn't set the world on fire. But at the same time, when they try to do adaptations of other stuff, it doesn't work either because they're weak stories. They're depending on the race and the identity politics to sell a movie. But that stuff doesn't sell movies. It didn't sell Ghostbusters. Paul Feig was not coming back on the lot, according to Dan Aykroyd. Tom Aykroyd. Who's Tom Aykroyd? His uncle? Uncle Tom Aykroyd? Well, poor choice of words there, but still, my point is, Tom Aykroyd didn't say that, and I'm sure he's no one's uncle. But Hollywood could collapse to a certain point. I think they'll get really vicious before they collapse, but it won't be a complete collapse. Hollywood has the benefit of all that money, so they can constantly pay for the spectacle. I think we'll get bigger and bigger movies the more Hollywood declines. You'll get a smaller, more emotionally satisfying fare on your Netflix or Hulu independent films. You know, once we hit a certain level and we have the funding, we want to do our show, not necessarily a movie, but we want to do our skit show. And we'll be able to produce that thanks to modern entertainment, or not modern entertainment, modern technology. And it's another way that Hollywood and the big advertising corporations are losing control. They're all, you know, it's just like slipping through their fingers, and they're going to tighten their grip, and more is just going to slip, slip, slip. So it could collapse. I think wokeness is just another way of trying to have an excuse for why a movie fails. Oh, you didn't like it because it was a black girl and this Little Orphan Annie, or a racist. I'm 29. I don't have kids. That was what, 2014? I was 25. I didn't have kids then either. I don't care about Little Orphan Annie. I hated the movie as a kid. Fucking little girl with an afro. The movie sucked. Tim Curry's the only legit part of that movie. What would be a good estimation of Hollywood falling? Maybe late 2020s? Possibly. I don't think it'll be like next year. Disney has so much power, but I think Disney has overextended itself. And if they continue to buy up everything and not allocate resources properly, and not just resources of money, but like resources of, manpower, production, all this other stuff like that, If they can't handle the growth, they will fall apart. Yeah, I remember until I found out Jamie Foxx's Police Hater, the movie wasn't bad. I just don't like Little Orphan Annie at all. Jamie Foxx's characters were named as Stacks, which pisses me off. Oh, so he wasn't Dave and Daddy Warbucks. Huh. That's kind of disappointing. A Latino Blade. A Latino Blade would send me over the edge. I don't like changing. Blade is an awesome character. Is he my favorite? Fuck no. But do I like the movies? Fuck yeah. Love Blade 1. 2, haven't seen all 3, so I can't really get into that. Hollywood fails when Stallone stops making Expendables movies. I think Hollywood's in a bad place when you look forward to Rambo 5 more than most movies coming out, including every Star Wars picture they could possibly make. That reminds me, did anyone see the remake of Pink Panther with Steve Martin? Yeah, I saw that on a date. That movie was terrible. Disney is going to pull an EA and ruin it for every other company, because if they buy out all their competition, the government is going to have to cut up big companies. That's what I was talking about with the government, the EA, or the the Disney Fox deal. I was hoping that the government wouldn't allow it, but it allowed it. That's why they have to cut up the sports and other stuff, and the TV rights, or the TV sports broadcasting are going to separate things. So Disney will get too big and it'll fall apart. Like, they should focus on their Disneyland and Disney parks. And yeah, it's nice that they bought Marvel, but Marvel would have done the exact same thing without Disney. The MCU already existed. They were already successful films. Maybe they have more advertising, or they make more revenue in terms of merchandise and stuff. But Marvel would have been better had it been an independent studio. Kind of like how Star Wars was independently produced but distributed through Fox. I would have liked that. Oh well, Disney owned it, or owns it now. MCU hasn't been bad, so I can't really bitch too hard. Yeah, Rambo 5 is getting made. There's pictures of Stallone online getting in shape. He looks fantastic. I would like to say I'm done watching new movies, but I only watch a couple a year. So it just depends on what's new, what it is. My money is spent on other things like coffee and beer. Oh, man. Now I'm drinking the good stuff. No more of that stupid McDonald's coffee. The government, and I'm not one to push for government intervention, should have cut up Disney in the 90s. That's when it was too big, and now it's outrageous. Yeah, I feel bad not knowing what Disney was up to back then. I was a kid, but I don't like Disney having too much control. The homogenization of entertainment is a dangerous thing, and the sanitizing of entertainment is a dangerous thing too. Not everything needs to be lascivious and lewd, but you should be able to have all those different things. Like, I don't like seeing Bat Dong in the new Batman comic book. I don't think anyone does, but at least there's an outlet for adult Batman stories. So that's a good thing. Let that exist. Maybe I don't want to see Bat Dong, but maybe there are people who want to. I want to see Batman, deal with murders and shit, and like show really gory, grisly crime scenes, the emotional issues that Batman goes through, psychological, psychosexual. That kind of stuff could be interesting to put Batman in. Batman is probably the most blank slate superhero possible. He has his my parents were murdered type of thing, but the world he inhabits, he can interact with almost anything. I mean, Batman still goes to space with the Justice League and shit, and it works. So don't try to make Superman Black Label, maybe not even Wonder Woman, unless they're going to go, full Monty Wonder Woman, which will sell comic books, but people will get pissed off. You see, there's that double standard out there, guys. Show Bat Dong, and people applaud it. Oh, it's so original and brave and powerful. You show Wonder Bush, oh my God, it's so sexist and demeaning. It's a fucking drawing. So even though I don't want to see Bat Dong, at the end of the day, it's a drawing. Who cares? 2030, Disney versus Vince McMahon. The only two remaining entertainment moguls go head-to-head. Well, by 2030, it'll be Robo Vince McMahon. And my money's on Robo Vince McMahon. He beat the government, damn it. Let's see, another company besides Disney needs to cover Star Wars properly, like after the events of Episode 6, like The Empire Falls Apart, leads up to The Force Awakens, and so on. I think in a perfect world, they would just stop making Star Wars movies based off the new lineage. They would close up shop with the new stuff. you're going to see a smaller push for Star Wars merchandise with Episode 9, and you're going to hear a lot of apologists say, it's because Toys R Us isn't around anymore. But remember, Toys R Us wasn't the #1 toy retailer according to all these places, and it was this and that and all this other shit. So, man, look, we're going to have a solo-sized toy line for Episode 9. Roman Empire got so big it collapsed from pressure. Disney could pull a Roman Empire. We can hope. We can hope they collapse, and we can all watch from the sidelines. Should I make a Bat Dong t-shirt in the Batman like shape of his? Okay, how about this, guys? A gray t-shirt with the words Bat Dong is a bat. Would people buy that? I can make that like tonight. I can make that by tonight. You should get an AMC A-list membership. I've been enjoying mine. Unlike Movie Pass, it works on IMAX, Dolby 3D. Doesn't work for Fathom events. I am an AMC Stubbs Gold member, so maybe I'll check that out. I live about 15 minutes away from Newport on the Levee, so that is my local AMC. I like going to the movies a lot. Just there's nothing out right now. Batawang. Okay, I like Batawang better than Bat Dog. Let's see. Sequel trilogy be removed from canon. I think the Star Wars fan base is the most passionate it's ever been. And that's a good thing. You need passion. You need excitement. You need people to care about things. Like I always say on the channel, I give a shit. So maybe that is right. Let's see. Hasbro said the Toys R Us like 12% of sales. That is a big deal. Oh, yeah. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the apologists that'll say that Toys R Us being gone isn't going to affect Star Wars. Star Wars is so popular. I was trying to use their words against them. With great Bat Dong comes great responsibility. Please don't. You know who won't read the Bat Dong issue? Brie Larson. Actually, maybe Bat Dong will make Brie Larson smile. Bruce Wang. Jeff, did you know that most of the Red vs. Blue cast is in RWBY's cast? I don't even know what RWBY is. I know what you're talking Rooster Teeth. I knew Red vs. Blue. That was out when I was in high school. That was really popular. I liked Halo, so you know. Just slap the Legends tag on the whole sequel trilogy and never look back. Why can't we just slap a "We're sorry" sticker over the front of it and just wipe it away from? Like, let's get a giant neuralizer from Men in Black, and you know, there we go. All out of bubblegum. Catch you next time, man. Can't wait to see you. Oh, it's an anime. Okay. I'm not your average anime consumer. I want to like it. I don't dislike it. I just don't know it. So, where do I find this Wonder Bush? It's in all of our hearts. Mr. Wang, Al Cervix guest and Caddyshack. It'll be like Star Trek Kelvin Timeline, aka fake JJ Schlock. Maybe that'll be, and we'll get an actual robot to play Princess Leia, or she has died in battle. And we have militant General Han Solo played by John Hamm. Not going to happen. Bat condoms are necessary. How else can you bone poison Ivy and walk away without a rage? Oh my god. That's what they should do for one of these Batman Black Series books, Black Label books, where Batman has slept with all the female rogues gallery, and he's carrying an STD. That's the Bat story. Bat Wang. A death in the family. Let's hope Marvel doesn't Johnson Infinity War Part 2. Let's hope. That is the best thing we can hope for at this point. Do not Johnson it. I mean, press 1 if you want to look forward to something in the future. Because I do. I want to be excited. I mean, did you guys listen to our Avengers Infinity War commentary and how excited I was? I was ecstatic. Like, I couldn't. I was like, man, it's so great, so great. I'm so pumped. Like for It last night, we went into deep cuts about Stephen King and all this stuff and constantly praised the movie. It's such a good time when we can look forward to something where we can watch something fun. You know, we're not a bunch of misanthropes. We love stuff. Why can't we just get good stuff consistently? It's just as easy to make good stuff. Well, no, let me stop. It's a little pricier, but you can find people that can make you good stuff just as quick as you can find people to make you bad stuff. I don't know how Akiva Goldsman constantly gets work. The dude was responsible for Batman and Robin. Let's get him out of the superhero movies. Let's get John Peters out of there. Let's just get people that know their shit. Not Kevin Smith, but people that are actually good. Captain Marvel will probably ruin Avengers 4 a lot. Probably. That's the future we're going to live. It's like my alternate 1985, where Biff is corrupt and powerful and married to your mother, and Captain Marvel won an Oscar. Thanks, Doc. Let's see who else we get. Captain Marvel, probably. Yeah, like I said, yeah. So let's see. We're in the closing moments of Good Morning Pop Culture. That's fine. It's been a good day. Thanks for sticking with me. Again, I apologize for all the stupid technology issues and the slow boot up and the slow update of, this Google Chrome. Maybe I shouldn't use Google Chrome. But there's really not too much news that we're not going to cover tonight. Oh my God, CM Punk's in a movie. Oh, we'll talk about that tonight. Oh my God, there's going to be another Space Jam movie. That'll be something. That'll be something. Ugh. Oh, I know what I wanted to bring up, guys. Salvador. Thank you very much for your super chat. Let's read Salvador's. Was at GameStop yesterday and saw holiday Star Wars pop vinyls, all Xmas themed. Wonder if the SJWs will pounce on because of the lack of inclusion for other holidays and does not fit their narrative. Bit selective to me. Now, Salvador, now you're going to make me want to go out and go to my GameStop to check these out. Maybe I should go do a video of that. I'll just make fun of the SJWs and all their craziness. Well, guys, you got to attack Star Wars now. They're too Christian. Oh, well, let's look at Christmas. Even if you're not Catholic or Christian, a lot of people celebrate Christmas. Most places are closed. And you know what? I don't think celebrating Christmas is a bad thing. I like Christmas. Yeah, we were raised Catholic, but Christmas is fun. I mean, people get gifts, people go to church, they do their own thing. You can celebrate in so many ways, but at the end of the day, it's just a nice off day for a lot of people. I don't think I don't think Star Wars is going to take too big of a hit because it's like that joke on the internet. What if a transgender gorilla or something is shot and something else on the internet? Who knows where to be offended by what? I think they're going to be able to I'm sorry. There's an article that says, please stop photoshopping smiles onto Captain Marvel. I'm sorry. I will read that as soon as I get through Salvador's thing. And no, I'm not going to rush through it, Sal. Don't worry. Focus first. They can't attack Star Wars now because it goes against their whole strong women in control fantasy. So what is more important? The holidays not being equally representative or, the white women narrative. What's more important to them? I say the SJWs go with the white women narrative because they're like, we're all feminists. I told you I had a teacher that said I'm a feminist once. I said, no, I'm not. I said, don't label me. And that was the worst fucking teacher I ever had. I would rather, what would I rather do than ever be taught by her again? I'd rather pour this cup of coffee on my crotch than go be taught by her. Terrible, terrible, terrible teacher. Waste of time. I want my, what is it, a couple $100 for a credit hour? Give me that back, University of Cincinnati. She was fucking garbage. I'm surprised if she's still teaching there. Then again, the university system is woker than I'll ever be or could possibly imagine. But it is a bit selective, Sal. They go with what fits their narrative at what point in time. It's like, I think these SJW or the Bad Taste Brigade or whatever you want to call them, I think they wake up in the morning from their hovel, their little shack, their air mattress at the Starbucks. They go, what am I going to be offended by today? So they pull out their overpriced smartphone. They go on Twitter and go, not oppressed enough. That's a white guy. Star Wars and Christmas. But they got a woman in lead. I don't know if it goes against my narrative. So they have this, internal conflict all day of Darth Vader levels. Do I betray my master? Do I save my son? What do I do? So they don't know where to go to be offended. How far can they take it? I think I want to go make a video. I'm going to go look for these now in the wild, Sal. And I'm going to go see if I can poke the bear with these crazy SJW people. I'll go, oh my God, guys, we have discovered Star Wars themed Christmas or Christmas themed Star Wars merchandise. Now, what about Star Wars and inclusivity? You know, what about Hanukkah? What about Kwanzaa? What about Festivus for the rest of us? What about these things? You know, I don't see Luke Skywalker with a Festivus pole. I just see Luke Skywalker with a wreath around his lightsaber. Wow, that sounds way dirtier than I planned it to be. A wreath around his lightsaber. Princess Leia has a wreath. No lightsaber. That, again, kind of sounds dirty too. Chewbacca has a wreath for a bandolier. How's that? Okay, you can't misinterpret that one. Can't. Just try me. All right. No wreaths around your lightsabers, guys. It's not a good holiday tradition to have. Maybe I do go out in the wild and I poke fun at the SJW narrative. We'll see what happens. Will people care? Will they write about me on Star Wars toy websites? Probably, because I always do. But I talk about them too. So thanks, Paul. Thank you. And Salvador, again, thank you very much. Let's see. Stephen Morgan, welcome back. Hey, Jeff, sorry I'm late to the party. Just passing through and thought I'd say hello and hope you've had a good stream. We'll catch the archive later. Cheers. Thank you, Stephen Morgan. I appreciate that. This has been a great stream. It started out a few minutes late because of the technical issues, but we have finished strong, and we're going to finish even stronger when I show you this Captain Marvel thing in a minute. I just want to tell everybody thanks for sticking with us and making Good Morning Pop Culture. It grows. On average, we have more and more viewers, so this is exciting. Life Day. Now let me find this article so we can all laugh at it together. Uh-oh, Coach Loudy's talking about Doctor Who and the feminist overtones. Loudy is a big Doctor Who fan, and he doesn't buy into this rhetoric. Oh, okay. So it's my friend John who posted this. There we go. I'm going to make a video about this separately. I'm just going to talk about it on Good Morning Pop Culture before I go. Give you guys, you know, they always say making them want more. Well, we'll talk about this again later, but I just want you guys to see this. PSA, please stop photoshopping smiles onto Captain Marvel by Hannah Collins, CBR exclusive. The first Captain Marvel trailer finally landed this week, generating a flurry of excited responses. Excited's subjective. After all, it's been nearly 6 months since fans were devastated by Thanos' finger snap in Avengers Infinity War and heartened by Nick Fury's distress call in the post-credit sequence. In the immortal words of Bonnie Tyler, we've been holding out for her. Oh, but not everyone is happy with what we've seen so far. Why? Not enough Mohawk Carol? Do the Skrulls look too much like Dragon Ball Evolution's Piccolo? No, the question is instead, why so serious, Brie? You know, Hannah, why so smug? Why so smug, Hannah? The complaint is reminiscent when Gal Gadot's armpit stubble caused controversy for being digitally retouched in one shot of Wonder Woman trailer. Nitpicking that proves the heightened level of scrutiny female leads have to endure in comparison to their hairier and scowlier counterparts. Really? Because you're the type of motherfucker that makes that a point. I don't care if Gal Gadot has armpit stubble in Wonder Woman. I didn't even notice that they CGI'd it. But I did notice that Brie Larson ate a frowny biscuit for breakfast every day of her life. She's just so unhappy. She's just so unhappy. So, turd flinging monkey is the quote, is the source of this tweet. So, let's see. I fixed Captain Marvel. Thanks. And there we got Captain Marvel with a smile. Captain Marvel with a smile. Captain Marvel with 2 smiles. This is my favorite one because this looks real. So does this one, though. Oh, man. Carl Mayer, Captain Marvel, smiling for once. Now, this is the face you want to see. I love how, you know, her smiling is narratively not appropriate for, you know, this shit. But let's go back to the article really quickly. Oh my God, this is too funny to me. This is too funny to me. Yeah, this is definitely gonna get its own video. Fuck it. They've taken to Twitter to bemoan every moment which Brie Larson doesn't have a smile plastered across her face, describing the Academy Award winner as a piece of wood and saying she looks like she's uninterested in being a superhero or going to a relative wake. It's a different kind of wake here, okay? Hannah. Oh, this is a 2-parter. Wow. They're really going to get no ads from me. Let's see. Thor Ragnarok was criticized for being overly funny, but no one complained that Thor himself was smiling too much. I also have gone on record to say I'd rather watch Justice League over Thor Ragnarok because it was just too much. Blah, blah, blah. We'll see your crack jokes. Telling women to smile is one of the most petty moves in the sexism playbook. As a lot of women, particularly those with resting bitch face, will tell you, the expectation on them to be happy, grinning idiots when they're doing little more than sitting on a bus or walking down the street is frustratingly a persistent one. There's a wealth of personal stories from women dealing with instances of strange men coming across or going right in their faces in public to tell them, smile, honey. The expectation is for women to always be likable or worse, decorative. It's a reminder that you're being watched constantly, no matter where you go. And if your demeanor is found lacking, then rest assured you'll be correct. You'll be told to correct it before you start to frighten children. Well, don't worry, Hannah. No one's going to ever approach you anywhere. All right? I'm not going to cross the street to tell you to smile. I'm going to cross the street to avoid you, kind of like Dion with a horse. This is bullshit. You see, I fucking told you guys, this is what Captain Marvel is about. It's not about a superhero movie. It's about the bigger picture. And people like Hannah Collins and her CBR exclusive are going to tout this bullshit for the next 6 months. This is why Captain Marvel is going to have a stink on it. Not because Brie Larson didn't shower, but because people like Hannah are going to constantly put this movie on a fucking pedestal. You know what? We criticized the movie because it doesn't have enough smiles. The character looks so fucking bored. Captain Marvel's not known as being a bored character. When you Google her, she's fucking smiling with the new suit, the woke Captain Marvel. All these empowering images of her are smiling. She's flying around, fucking smiling. So you know what? The fact that in the movie she looks angered or annoyed or constipated the entire time isn't a sexist criticism. You know what it is? It's a criticism of a movie. You think this movie's going to stand for something. This movie's not. It's a fucking advertisement for the next Avengers flick. Let's get over ourselves. Let's get over ourselves, Hannah, and all these other people out there that want to say it's sexist to criticize because she's not smiling. You know what? It's sexist? People like this. All right, you're not decorative. You're not whatever. You know, you're just not a likable person. And don't worry, no one that is saying this about this movie is going to bother you. Okay, no one wants to talk to you. So hide on CBR and go do what you got to do. But go away. Just go away and don't worry about it. You're going to be the reason that this movie flops. Don't worry, Hannah. Don't worry. Your crusade to save Captain Marvel is not gonna do very much. So I guess that's a good way to end the show. That's it. Good morning pop culture. I don't know. Ah, man, is there anything I have to say? Let's see. Have I seen the thing on the trailer where she punches the old one? Yeah, I covered the trailer. I covered the trailer extensively. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like the frowny biscuit joke. That comes from, well, I won't tell you where. It's too sexist. Yeah, I'm just tired of this shit. The mainstream media is anti-logic. You damn right. I thought I was going to finish this cup of coffee, get back to laying out the comic, and then go to the gym. No, I'm going to end this stream, and I'm going to go work on the next video because this is the most frustrating garbage I've ever seen. Be prepared, folks, for the first sign of Captain Marvel going woke. That's the video I'm going to call it. So thank you to everyone who has joined me this morning. Thanks to everyone who continually supports the channel. Thanks to all the new supporters of Stealing Solo, a Captain's Parody, available on Indiegogo. Link in the description below. We're going to hit that stretch goal today. We're going to do it today, guys. I believe in us. I believe in Harvey Dent. I believe in Stealing Solo. So let's get that out there. Let's show these people what Comicsgate is all about. So, guys, come back tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on this channel for World Class Bullshitters, episode 141, where we'll make fun of Dion for being afraid of horses, as well as Everything Beat Jordan. So it's not a show that you want to miss. It's the most fun night on the internet. Better than Monday Night Football because it's on Thursday nights. And Thursday Night Football ain't too much better. So I'll catch you guys in just a few short hours. If you need me, you know how to contact me, worldclassbs@mail.com. Thebestmail.com.